Hi, everybody. Mark Zinni here along with Stephanie Simoni coming to you live right now at a little after 9 o'clock on a Monday night. We certainly hope everybody had a nice holiday season. Kind of hard to believe it's over.
I know. And what a busy news
Yeah.
day that we walked into. Of course, we will talk about Venezuela in just a moment. Our chief political reporter, Susan Raff, was on that, and that's a developing situation that we've been watching very closely. But just around, I want to say 5:15, we got a press release from New Haven about the police chief having to step down. Now, he chose to retire, but it was all amongst allegations that he stole from the department. And the mayor held a press conference earlier tonight about this.
Yeah, and this right here is some video, of course, of former New Haven Police Chief Carl Jacobson in one of the many interviews we've done with him over the years since he got this job in the Elm City. The mayor really just suddenly announcing that he was out of a job and was gone effective immediately.
Yeah, and this all happened very quickly. The mayor in the press conference took everybody through the steps. He said, I learned about this morning. A decision was made very quickly. He was confronted with these allegations. Now, the allegations, we don't know a lot. We don't know how much money was possibly stolen or how long it was going on. But the mayor said that the former chief, now former, Chief Carl Jacobson, admitted to stealing money from a designated city fund, which they used to pay confidential informants. So this was money meant for people giving the police department information to pay them. And the mayor says that the chief was taking money from this fund and was confronted by some of the officers in his force, the assistant chiefs, and was confronted. And that's when the mayor was notified. And when he was confronted, the mayor said that Jacobson admitted to it.
And he got this job after a long search for quite some time. There was an interim police officer before him as the city was looking to fill the position. But he was with, as you said, he was with the department for many years.
For 15 years, served in this role for 3, and his contract was just going to expire at the end of this month. So the city is not going to owe him any money or give him any money. But he still will get his pension unless he is convicted of something, and that's up to the state police. So right now, because all of this just unfolded this morning, all of these allegations just came to light this morning. So now state police, they're working with the state's attorney to try and figure out, okay, are there charges to file here? What charges? What would they look like? And so that kind of now this is going to open up a whole new investigation, a criminal investigation into the police chief of New Haven.
And as you can imagine, certainly a big deal in that community and really ramifications all throughout the region. But Channel 3's Amanda Callahan was there earlier for this briefing with the mayor and is working on new information for the news coming up at 10 o'clock with you on the Wax. And then, of course, we'll have more on Channel 3 coming up at 11 o'clock. We have more on our website, too.
Yes, more on our website. And did we mention who the assistant police chief who will be acting
worth
as interim?
noting.
Okay, David Zanelli has been appointed acting police chief while all of this is going on. And he was at the press conference, and we actually heard from him tonight. And he was one of the chiefs, the assistant chiefs at the time, who confronted the police chief. So anyway, so you hear from Zanelli, you hear from the mayor, and Amanda Callahan will have much more on this coming up at 10 and 11.
It's interesting because we got the alert literally in the studio. We were doing the news, and I saw it come up on my phone, and I was like, wow. And you had just walked into the studio for the 5:30 news. Certainly, these things are obviously unexpected, but he is a very high-profile figure to be suddenly removed from his position.
Yes, and I was speaking with some of our crews today, and there was a press conference at New Haven Police Headquarters scheduled for 2 o'clock this afternoon, and it was abruptly canceled, and everyone was like, what happened? And we don't know if this is why,
right? But
it's very, very unusual for them to cancel press conferences once they're scheduled. So anyway, so that happened, and then they scheduled another press conference at 6:30, and so this is when it all came to light and we learned about it. And the mayor said he found out this morning. The chief, retired already, and now they already have an acting chief, and they already alerted the public. So it all happened very quickly, and now state police will handle the investigation going on from here.
All right, much more on that coming up at 11, and also 10 on the wax. Another big story, of course, Michelle Troconis. You know, here's a name we've been hearing for many, many years now at this point, but she was back in court today trying to fight for another trial here, ultimately hoping she can get released from prison.
Yes, and Dylan Furin was on this. He was in court, and you actually got to hear testimony from the first lawyer that she hired. And he had some interesting things to say, especially about the things that she's alleging against him.
Right, well, she's blaming him, really.
Correct, saying she should never have spoken to police, and he talks about it, and it's just, the whole thing is very interesting if you have been following this case. It is,
and for many years now, so many people have.
Right.
Here is Dylan Furin's story from earlier tonight as well.
Well, it seems Michelle Troconis feels today went well for her and her team. Several times today in the courtroom, turning around to her family, smiling at them, blowing kisses at them, giving them a thumbs up. Today was all about one of her former attorneys who was representing Troconis when police started investigating.
I mean, there was tremendous pressure. They were out, objectively, they were out digging. They were out looking in every single place.
Andrew Bowman represented Michelle Troconis in 2019 after Jennifer Farber-Dulos disappeared and police started investigating. He didn't represent Troconis in her criminal trial 5 years later, but now his initial legal strategy is the focus of today's hearing as Troconis fights to have her conviction overturned. Troconis claims Bowman was ineffective early on, claiming he recommended she speak to police. Troconis claims she didn't understand the potential consequences of speaking to investigators.
Whatever you do, if you go in there and speak with them, it's gotta be the truth. You cannot lie. It has to be the truth. And she said she understood.
Bowman, testifying today, said he initially told Troconis not to talk to police, but when he heard she would be charged with accessory to murder if Jennifer's body was found, he recommended Troconis talk.
I thought that they could find that body any minute, and I was telling them that I thought she was innocent. I made a judgment to recommend to her that she talk to them. But in the end, it was her decision.
Troconis was accused of helping Fotis Dulos dispose of Jennifer's body after he killed her. Fotis Dulos committed suicide in 2020. Jennifer's body has still never been found. Troconis claims police interviewed her for hours on 3 different days and that her statements were used against her at trial. Another key moment today, discussions over how well Troconis understood the English language in meetings with Bowman and in police interviews. English is Troconis' second language behind Spanish. Bowman denied there being a major language barrier issue.
If I explained it to her in English and she said she didn't get it, I had her mother come in. I would tell her mother, her mother would tell her in Spanish, and then I would go on with the conversation in English. She didn't say, I don't understand the language. She never said that.
There are 2 other Troconis hearings, one set for Friday, the other the following Friday. Then the judge will have to decide. He'll have 120 days to make his decision. And the big question is, will Michelle Troconis testify? We'll see what happens on Friday. I'm your reporter in Rockville, Dylan Furin, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Again, much more to come over the next few weeks and months regarding that case, really just the beginning of this latest phase when it comes to the Michelle Troconis trial.
And same with what's happening in Venezuela right now, and with the president,
Yes,
taking Nicolas Maduro or the U.S. government taking Nicolas Maduro and his wife out of the country. And today, Maduro and his wife were in court.
yes. So they entered a not guilty plea right away, and they were taken to a prison where they're going to stay until mid-March when they have another hearing. But pretty much not much has changed there in their legal process aside from what happened over the weekend, which was certainly a major world event, to them being brought to the United States, appearing in court, and now they have to sit and kind of wait this out and work with their lawyers to try and get out of custody or whatever the case may be. I was reading a lot of, and we had an expert on the news tonight talking about the one thing that they may lean on here, the president of Venezuela may lean on, is that he is immune from some of this action because he's the president of a country. So again, all of this is going to play out in court. But Susan Raff went to a local Venezuelan restaurant to talk with some people.
And I thought what they had to say was very interesting. And I didn't even know that we had a local Venezuelan restaurant
in North Haven.
Right in North Haven.
Yeah.
I would like to go to it. It sounded delicious. But they were there to really talk politics and not food. And so she heard from them, and it was interesting to hear from them tonight.
All right. This is Susan's story from earlier tonight.
Oye, ese bicho está como un poquito picante, ¿viste?
On most days, Luis is in the kitchen preparing traditional dishes. He and his wife Jennifer moved from Venezuela to find a better life.
I'm not safe in my country. It's a rich country, but it's a poor country. Why? But the power have for the bad person.
But these days are a little different. They are fixated on the fallout in their native country and the removal of Venezuelans' leader, Nicolas Maduro.
The country is not safe. Is the country we have a lot of hard situation about the food, about the medicine. We can find nothing, and it was hard for the people live there.
Both Jennifer and Luis are glad the U.S. stepped in and took Maduro out of the country. They say the dictator refused to step aside when he lost the 2024 election. Luis says Maduro was also known for helping other countries smuggle deadly drugs into the U.S.
I don't know where is the route for the drug, pero pass for Venezuela.
But while they are grateful to the U.S. for removing Maduro, they feel the Venezuelan people should be the ones who decide who will be their next president.
Definitely the people from Venezuela. That we need to decide who is going to be the president and who is going to have everything for us.
Again, that was Susan Raff reporting, and more to come on that over the coming weeks and months. Today they did say, again, just to repeat myself, that it could be mid-March before he's back in court.
And lastly tonight, we are shifting our focus to Hartford Healthcare's new acquired hospitals. They're taking over Manchester Memorial and Rockville General, and Luke Hydash was doing this story.
He was. There was, of course, talk leading up to this about the hospitals closing, one or both of them. So for the communities, this would, I believe, be good news to have them still in their community. So again, Luke filed this report earlier tonight.
Right now, as of the new year, Manchester Memorial and Rockville General are both run by Hartford Healthcare. Previous owner Prospect Medical filed for bankruptcy last year. Nurses like Carolyn Bousquet feared the worst.
We faced operational strain, workforce challenges, IT infrastructure instability, and the emotional weight of caring for patients during exceptionally challenging times.
A new name on the building means new services.
We're keeping healthcare local. We're keeping in the community. We're going to bring more physicians, more providers here, more technology.
It's a nearly $226 million investment over 3 years in things like new doctors and nurses, cancer care, and 24/7 virtual services, not to mention a 30-bed behavioral health center at Rockville Hospital.
We are going to have a focus on our patients, a focus on safety and quality, and a focus on investment.
Terry Sweeney is glad the hospital is sticking around.
Hartford Healthcare has always done me good, and just glad they're going to come here.
Was there a point in time where you thought, gee, maybe the hospital's going to close? If something happens, I'm going to have to go all the way to Hartford?
Yeah, last year I was a little worried about it, so I'm happy it's coming.
State regulators approved the deal last month with conditions to prevent cost increases at the two hospitals.
Again, that was Channel 3's Luke Hydash reporting. We were just talking about a very, very busy Monday. I mean, we got back to work, and I know everybody, kind of a lot of places have been off no matter what you do. And of course, a lot of people didn't have off. We recognize that. But boy, we all hit the ground running, I think, today.
Yes, very busy, and it's been cold. We had a little snow.
Yes.
In about 10 minutes, the meteorologists are going to get on here and tell you about the forecast and what to expect. But I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with the end of the week.
Right? There's going to be a little bit of a change that we're maybe not used to this time of year, especially after the past week or so. So stick around for that with Mike.
So that will be good. And then we hope to see you at 10 and 11.
All right. Have a good night, everyone. Take care. And of course, you can always get the latest anytime on our website, WFSB.com, and right here on the WFSB app.